Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I am showing off some Beskar steel from Star Wars The Mandalorian. So there'll be a link to the 3D model if you want to go try and make this yourself. Now the default orientation for printing this was actually lying down, which wouldn't have worked well on my printer. So I actually printed it vertically, which I think actually helps a little bit with the kind of Damascus look. And I also was then able to experiment further with this as well. But I gotta say, this turned out way better than expected. And even with just this kind of grey filament, it looks really good. And when you rotate it to different orientations and the light hits it differently, you really get that Damascus feel of it. And yeah, I love it. The imperfections as well in the actual print, I think might be helping too, because when you rotate it, you just get slightly more kind of texture and lighting than you would if it actually printed like 100% flawless. So yeah, that is sweet. But I did want to go further on this, so I decided to do a multi-color print, which was that I would simply change the filament on the final layer or the beginning layer. So what I did to begin with was the one that you can see topped with gray. This was printing with that being the back and this being the final layer being gray. But of course the actual 3D print marks really show up and it takes away, I think, from the aesthetic, unfortunately. Of course, it'd be good to use two grays here rather than black and gray, but this is what I have at hand. So I did this one, which I printed upside down. So I actually got the texture of the bed on the black, and then the gray behind it doesn't have that texture. And I think this one especially looks really freaking cool. And if I was using two grays here, this could look incredible. And this was actually my first ever attempt at changing filament mid-print. So quite cool to try this out, and it opens up a lot of potential now for me doing stuff with this that I wouldn't have even thought of before I got into 3D printing. So very cool to actually mess around with this, and the result is very cool. Just look at the two different textures on this. That is very impressive, I think. And as a novice, I'm loving experimenting with all this stuff, and it looks kind of cool. Not exactly very practical. I was wanting to make this thick enough to put magnets on it, but it just ended up taking far too long, so I decided to keep it thin, and it's not really practical for anything. It's just good to look at. I think it does look cool. I do want to do something else with the Imperial logo though. I would love if that maybe was all a uniform color or something like that. So I'm not sure, but either way, it looks freaking sweet. And this YouTube channel is my first foray into 3D printing. So if you like anything you're seeing here, hit like or subscribe and show me your support. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time.